Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, previewing and reviewing this latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts and the American Scooter Dust.
Go Rangers!
That was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed Michael Richard Blaze on Tuesday. Very renowned Canadian pro wrestler. And Yeah, was definitely a chat you do not want to miss. You even find out a little bit of trivia that you didn't even know about Michael. And then on Wednesday, Levi Spade, another incredible interview from a school we love absolutely, the Limitless Dojo. We talk Mojo at the Dojo, Dungeons and Dragons, and a whole lot more. You definitely, if you love Limitless Wrestling and the state of Maine and all of that good stuff, you're definitely not going to want to miss that interview. This upcoming Tuesday, we got Candy Girl. Um, Somebody from my neck of the woods. Compton, California. And it is a sweet interview, to say the least. We talk about teaming with Awesome Kong, wrestling Winter, wrestling one of Scooter's favorite, Chucky, um, and a hell of a lot more. Find out what kind of candy she likes, what kind of candy she hates, and so much more. And this Wednesday, we got Lola the Adventurer. Um, Definitely an interesting interview with an interesting character. We talk all things Dora the Explorer, obviously. We talk about her trainers, the people around her, finding a tag team partner, and a hell of a lot more. And if you don't take my word for it, here's some clips. Was it a good experience wrestling Chucky?
Some fans that might not have seen that match, like, what are they talking about? I believe this was in UEW, if I'm not mistaken. Underground. Yeah, I think it was with them. But yeah, I had a match with Buggy Nova, who sort of is now retired from the independent scene. But yeah, that turned into me versus Chucky. And I mean, as far as size difference, I thought it would be such a different experience because I'm clearly bigger. Um, but it was one of those things that I was like, you know what? I've never trained for this. So, because I train a lot, but I've never trained to wrestle Chucky. So I honestly did not know what was going to happen. So I'm glad that I came out of that okay. But it's one of those moments in wrestling when you're in the ring and you're like, what is happening? What is my life right now? And if I lose to Chucky, what does this do? What does this do for my confidence? Because how do you prepare for that? How do you prepare for that? So, but honestly, looking back now, it's one of those things that it just makes me smile. And again, what makes pro wrestling so amazing is that you keep the magic alive and anything can happen.
Well, I mean, you did better than Liv Morgan. She didn't survive the process.
I think anybody that can walk out of wrestling Chucky or a doll is a win in my book. So kudos to her too.
Tell us about your duet with Ricky Tenacious.
Oh my goodness. He is so much fun. He is so much fun. Yeah, the first time I got invited to FSW in Las Vegas, they they put me with him as my tag team partner. I found one. I found a tag team partner that said no. Yeah, and so our name is the Friendship Express, and he is a songbird, and I enjoy singing too. Although I don't think he really appreciates that I join him, but it's fine. We still make it work. But yeah, no, those I love coming into the ring singing because it's the only time I really get to do it. Is with him, and I would love to do it more.
And when May 3rd, we have Rose on the show. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over, right, Scooter?
I'd say so, although I do want to mention, we interview one more Canadian guest and we get free Canadian citizenship.
Fantastic. Alright, AEW's new show on Saturday is going to be called Collision. Rumor and innuendo suggest it's going to be on Saturdays. Um, what are your thoughts on AEW adding a new show? And especially on the day that it's going to be on. I believe we talked about this a little bit before, but not as in depth as maybe we as much as information as we have as now.
Uh, well, to be quite honest, I honestly had not seen anything about any more news on AEW's third show since we last talked about it. Uh, but it's a 2-hour Saturday show. And okay, great, but why? Why?
They're getting paid a lot of money to do it.
Okay, great. They're getting paid a lot of money to do it. Are I mean they had they could have made Rampage 2 hours, but no. Is AEW going to be up for doing 2 live shows a week? Who knows? But the rumor on this is it's back in Chicago, which means
CM Punk.
mm-hmm. Um, quite honestly, I mean everything from this point forward. I mean, we're considering as part of the build-up to All In, including Double or Nothing. And is there another pay-per-view before September?
Uh, double on. But usually they do Fight for the Fallen and Fight
Oh
Fest,
yeah,
but those are
yeah,
TV specials at this point.
yeah. So yeah, those have always been uh. But also, there's apparently going to be a roster split.
Which is a great thing in my opinion.
Yes. Yes. Uh, quite honestly, take all the former WWE talent and put them on Collision. I mean, but then okay, then they're gonna that mean they're introducing a second world title. Okay. I mean, let's be honest, the secondary titles are barely an attraction as is. There's a lot of potential, but I'm setting my expectations very low so I can be pleasantly surprised.
That's really a good way to see it. Um, if they do have a roster split, would that be a great? Would that be a good thing to have a perfect way to bring back CM Punk, where he's not on the same show as the Elite, where there will be no interaction?
God, at this point, who can say? I mean, let's face it. They're gonna build to Punk and Omega. It's gonna happen.
I think it has to happen at this point. Whether or not the Young Bucks are involved in it or not, is seems to remain.
I mean, based on everything, I see the CM Punk and FTR against Omega and the Bucks. Really,
And I feel it has teased that before.
yeah. FTR are Punk's biggest advocates in the locker room. It is. I am reading from a couple of City Live, or at least the first one is, and and who knows if they go to that old Raw format where it's one live, next week taped, next week live, next week taped. If they're going to go through with a roster split, they have to look at WWE and make a list of what they can do different to show, oh, we're not just, copying the popular idea.
It kind of feels like whoever has heat or issues with with the main roster, i.e., um, the Elite and Britt Baker, is going to be on that second show. Like CM Punk, Thunder Rosa, um, FTR, I want to say Kid Lee has heat, but just and Sammy Guevara, um, Eddie Kingston, but does it? My thing of it is, are people going to watch a third AEW show on Saturday? Or Saturday isn't primarily a wrestling day unless it's a pay-per-view.
That's the other thing. What would be their issues for, what would be their response to going up against a PLE that was airing on a particular Saturday.
Right.
There's there's a lot of potential. We'll probably see 2 times as many Dark and Dark Elevation tapings.
Yep.
Who knows? Will we get a third Dark show?
Advanced Darkness.
Yeah, at this point, Dark is a roster split. Dark has its own roster split between Dark and Dark Elevation. Oh, yes. I want to be the AEW Dark Champion. Oh, wait.
You know, you make that joke, but it's not actually a bad idea.
I mean, okay, Dynamite Heavyweight Championship, Rampage Heavyweight Championship. I mean, yeah, that kind of sounds good. The Collision Heavyweight Championship?
Well, we're definitely going to have a Discovery title.
Well, you know what? He'll have to. I think in order for this to be successful, Tony's going to have to put the shows on opposite sides of the country.
That would not be a bad idea.
Don't make them run in the same state in a week. Have Dynamite, on the East Coast for a few months. Have Collision on the West Coast. Yeah, and then switch it up. Move Collision to the East Coast. Move Dynamite to Central. They want to corner the. If they want to at least get a toe in the door to the corner of a market, then they have to apply a different business strategy.
Speaking of a new strategy, Naomi is not working anymore. Apparently, while AEW was, no, New Japan was interested in her, they simply could not afford her at this time. They did not get the Monet discount. Um,
So that's a no way, Monet.
no way, Monet.
No way.
And it doesn't seem like WWE wants her at this point. So did Naomi make a big ouchie with this?
I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't want to like start rumors or anything, but uh, Jimmy Uso was seen at the law offices of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Uh, and that's a firm that contains some of the best divorce lawyers in the world. Um, I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding on that. I mean, would God? This is like, how do you react to your wife not being welcomed back or not being wanted back? And I wouldn't doubt if Naomi was trying to push Jimmy into saying, all right, come on, you can get them to bring me back. I think Naomi has cut off her nose to spite her face.
But and I mean, I feel like Impact is like the the land of the misfit toys. They'll take anybody at this point. Um, but I don't see her going to maybe an AEW. Do you?
No, no.
So it's probably Impact or bust, right?
I, 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 I don't think she. I don't think she'd consider Impact. I think Naomi thinks she's above Impact.
I mean, anybody is above Impact until you actually get to Impact. Oh,
And just all you can do is wait and see.
what? Somebody definitely above Impact at this point. Tyler Bate, might be called up to the main roster, which isn't a bad thing. And it wouldn't suck to see him on WWE TV. Um, well, but where would Tyler Bate fit perfect in WWE right now?
It's funny because I randomly put him in a team with Madcap Moss in 2K23, and they beat the Usos for the tag titles. Um,
Wow.
yeah, that's what I said. Um, man, I I would say Raw, but I think he's gonna be SmackDown. Um,
I feel like he would fit better on Raw, just for the simple fact that they have a bunch of foreigners already on SmackDown. I mean, I feel like it'd be counterproductive to put him with the Brawling Brutes.
no, I wouldn't put him there, but I think the potential for more, you know, matches that are worth watching are on SmackDown.
I mean, I would be interested in a Seth Rollins Tyler Bate match.
Okay, I guess. And
Mustafa Ali,
Tyler Bate, Finn Balor, Tyler Bate, Damien Priest, Tyler Bate, AJ Styles. On
Riddle,
SmackDown, Tyler Bate, Gunther,
AJ
Shinsuke,
Nakamura,
Ricochet,
yay.
Strowman.
Nobody wants to fucking see Strowman.
Excuse me, Tyler Bate is a big strong boy.
And Braun Strowman is a
A big strong woman. Just ask for Cal.
I,
Tyler Bate, Omos.
there you go. I paid to see that. Which is again another Raw match. Um, again, I think he. Maybe I'm just partial to Raw at this point, but I'd rather see him on Raw than SmackDown.
Okay, then what about another one of the rumored names? What about Ilya Dragunov?
Ooh, I think he would do better on SmackDown. Just I don't know why, but I feel like Dragunov would do better there.
Here's the thing. They have a notorious habit of taking the people who gave not just the best matches in the history of NXT, but some of the best matches in the history of wrestling in general. and reduce them to gimmicks. Pete Dunne, Butch, and was put in a throwaway match with Gunther after they had numerous matches that brought all the fans to their feet. Dragunov, Walter, Gunther, match of the year. Match of the year in front of no audience.
That's right.
It feels like, and I'll bet you Dragunov will be renamed, because I can almost guarantee you that Vince is in Tripp's ear saying, "Why the hell is his name Lidja?"
Is Natalia on SmackDown?
Yes.
Okay, well, you put a tag team between Dragunov and Natalia. And what do you
Oh
name it?
God.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I thought you were going to say Natalia Lilia.
I thought Dungeons and Dragons was a better name.
Dungeons and Dragunov. Clever. I like that. Okay. Where does Pretty Deadly go?
Ooh. Put him on Impact.
No. Oh, come on. Everyone knows we're looking at the new Breezango. I mean, yeah, they'll be hilarious backstage. I'm
laughing. Apparently he never laughed at Breezango.
I'm not sure how the mainstream audience will react to such a flamboyant gimmick.
Right.
You know, I'd say the same thing if Quincy Elliott of NXT was moving up.
I have no idea who that is.
That's probably for the best. I mean, you know, gimmicks based in, you know, in based on, I don't want to say Pretty Deadly is gimmick is based on sexual identity, but it's based on implied metrosexuality bordering on, yeah, these two guys are definitely poking each other. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll overhaul Pretty Deadly and we'll get like two really like gruff guys. And I don't want to say Butch again, but you know, who just love to, you know, fight, drink beer, curse, look at titties. You know, kind of like
Natalia and Dragunov.
Come on, y'all know we don't like to look at Dragunov's titties. You ever see that? You ever see Bruno?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, you ever see Bruno with Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yes, I know what you're
and
talking about, but I've never seen
yeah,
it.
Straight Dave,
Mm.
Straight Dave's Ultimate Fighting that ends with two guys making out in an octagon, surrounded by racist and homophobic hillbillies.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think about a promotion that would do that, but I just don't want to get anybody involved at this point.
Well, uh, oh God.
NWA.
No. Oh God. Oh, the promotion out in Vegas. Is
The
it
what? Sorry?
FSW? Is it FSW
Hmm. Um. I know what you're talking about.
or Florida? And yeah, what is it? Florida FSCW. Um, also, Zoe Stark, Cameron Grimes, and Braun Breaker.
Which does beg the question: what would Gigi do to get on the main roster? I'll tell you what. Whoever has the best pair of shoes, that's where she'll go.
But they have to give them to her. That could be like, oh, you're wearing the best shoes. I'm gonna go where you are.
But I mean, it's Fox and USA, so they're going to have to attract her with a pair of shoes. But you know, it better be Adidas. Alright. This is a very interesting and bizarre thing that happened. John Morrison won a boxing match.
Yep, against that. God, that creator clash too.
It
Again,
was
against
against Epic Meal
Har-
Times
times
Harley
Harley
Morrison.
Morgenstein,
Yeah.
Harley Morgenstein, and bacon strips and bacon strips and bacon strips. Yeah, you know, with Muscle's glasses in his corner. Uh, it's actually Morgenstein's second creator clash. Second time. Oh no, they weren't the main event. Uh, last year's creator clash. So Harley Morgenstein box Aaron Hansen of the Game Grumps.
Oh god.
It's funny. What content has John Morrison produced? Do
Crappy
you,
C-list movies.
do you want to know what I think? I think they confused him for Tyler Bate.
Hmm. That's an insult to Tyler Bate.
I know. I mean, the movesets are eerily similar. I think somebody was like, "Oh yeah, the guy from Twitch who does all those Royal Rumbles. Yeah, John Morrison, or as Tyler Bates called on Twitch, the Sweets."
Hmm.
I mean, there's no way they thought they were getting the chugs.
Oh, I believe Scarlett was there. She was in his corner with Karen Cross.
Wait, what?
You said the Jugs, right?
Chug, CHUG, Adam Cole. Adam Cole on Twitch.
Who the
His
fuck calls
username
Adam Cole
is the
Chugs?
Chug. Who calls him Budge?
WWE because because of Michael Cole, baby.
Well, yeah. You know what? And that actually reminds me of another news item. A deal's been worked out between WWE and Twitch, where all superstars are now allowed to stream on Twitch. If they're under WWE contract, when they stream, they're a representative of WWE brand. So the streamer will take uh, 75%. Actually, I think it might be 80, and the other 20% will be split between Twitch and WWE.
I mean, it's a win at the end of the day, I suppose.
Yeah.
But do you see that this could be a new adventure for John Morrison going into the world of boxing?
You know, it seems like Morrison. It seems like every week he's got something new that he's doing. You know, when he's not encouraging The Miz to eat 17 bowls of pea soup.
Well, at the end of the match, he challenged somebody called TC to a fight. Probably a YouTube personality.
Oh, yes, the beloved Kesey. Who just got out of a fight with Hogan Law.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. You're into that YouTube or Twitch shit stuff.
Are we sure he wasn't challenging KSI?
I don't know who that is, so I can't really tell you.
The guy in the Prime costume.
Isn't that Jack Tomlinson? I don't think we're talking about the same thing anymore.
John Morrison issued a challenge to KSI.
Pretty sure it was Kishi.
What does Rikishi have to do with this?
I don't know what he's doing nowadays.
Who's on first?
Nick Aldis made a return to Impact Wrestling. I can make the argument he would have did really good in the WWE, but unfortunately, everything that's going on in WWE right now, it just wasn't in the cards for him. Is this more of a loss for WWE or a bigger loss for Elvis?
Hmm. No, I meant
No, Magnus, though.
I mean, I think Elvis's time has come and gone for any WWE potential.
He might. I mean, if there was ever a time to pull the trigger, now would be it. Any later, and it could just be, like you said, just passing.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing: Elvis turned down the WWE when they were interested in him.
Did he
And
the NWA?
yeah, I mean, Nick Aldis on the WWE wrestler won't make a difference.
Hmm? What'd you say?
I said Nick Aldis being in WWE now would mean a whole lot less than it could have a few years ago.
Could we maybe say the same thing about Jay White at this point, considering what he's doing on AEW TV?
I mean, honestly, I think the only reason Jay White officially signed with AEW is I will bet you Tony gave him his freedom to do whatever and not feel somewhat as restricted as the WWE might.
I mean,
There
there's always
was
interest in him. It was just bad timing, I believe.
there, there was no reason Jay White shouldn't have ended up in WWE.
Other than everything that happened with Vince McMahon returning and there being a freeze on who can and can't come into the company.
Uh, that turned out to be a rumor. There is no hiring freeze.
I mean, it's
Uh,
still. I feel like it's still did not. They dropped the ball because of everything that was going on, and not focusing on getting him into WWE.
and yeah, I'd agree with that.
All right. And that brings us to our last bit of news. Um, Ted DiBiase Jr. involved in an embezzlement scheme. Apparently the trust fund ran out. Scooter, I know you have a lot of information on all of the everything that happened, so why don't you drop some knowledge on it?
Yeah. Okay. Former WWE superstar Ted DiBiase Jr. charged Thursday with multiple felonies stemming from a welfare fraud scandal in the state of Mississippi. A reporter for the Associated Press reported last year that millions of dollars meant to be spent on needy families in Mississippi's Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program was misappropriated by not only DiBiase Jr., but along with four other notable figures, uh, most most notably former Green Bay Packer and uh, probably no longer a potential NFL Hall of Famer, unless he's already in. Hold on, Brett Favre from the Green Bay Packers, and there's something about Mary.
Something about mine.
Yeah, he was in the movie. Uh, Dibiase, along with his father, Ted Sr., uh, and brother Brett Dibiase, allegedly received millions of dollars through their businesses in exchange for services that were not provided. Dibiase Sr.'s Heart of David Ministries, uh, which was founded in 1999, received $1.7 million in welfare money in exchange for providing leadership training that never occurred. DiBiase personally received a $250,000 check from the Mississippi Family Resource Center director and the, uh, the I guess you could call him the bad man who was responsible for allowing this money to get taken, John Davis. Dibiase received a personal check for $250,000 for motivational speaking engagements that never happened. But upon receiving the check, he quickly emailed his sons with a picture of it and the subject line, "Look what I got today." A year or so ago, Dibiase Sr. was ordered to repay $722,000 as part of a civil lawsuit. Allegations and litigation is still ongoing with that. Dibiase Jr. allegedly received over $3 million in federal anti-poverty funds to conduct leadership training through his shell company, Priceless Ventures, and to support inner city youth through a program called Familia Orientum. But services were not provided. Brett Favre also took a couple of $1 million, uh, um, including a bulk of $5 million that was supposedly supposed to go to Southern Mississippi University for a new volleyball facility. Ironically, Southern Mississippi University is where Brett Favre's daughter played volleyball. Thanks, Dad. Favre purportedly paid back the money. There's still some outstanding interest. John Davis, head of the Mississippi Department of Human Services, pleaded guilty to conspiracy, theft, and fraud in September of 2022. Here's something interesting. You want to know what you do after your career in wrestling's over? Well, you work in civil service because Brett Dibiase was this guy's deputy. And John Davis was also responsible for a number of false contracts that put money into the hands of Brett Dibiase. Now, hold on for just a second. I need to clean something up because somebody put this. In a way I think that sums it up. Well, actually, there's two. There's two of them. It goes, "I stole some money from lower class. Now I'm gonna get pounded in the ass." And there's one more. Where'd you go? Come on, where is it?
Oh,
It's here. It's fine.
Wait.
Go, there. Adrenaline in my soul. They chose right with Cody Rhodes. He's the better part of Legacy. And that sums it up.
Alright, so I mean, you said a lot of words.
DiBiase's criminals. they in trouble. In fact, the entire U.S. government is going to fuck on them.
I mean, this seems like a very Ted DiBiase thing to do, right? So if he's going to get arrested, it's going to be for embezzlement, right? The $1 million man and the $1 million kid.
Some might cost a little. Some might cost a lot. But I'm the $1 million man, and I just got caught.
I'm glad that I see him before he gets arrested for 9 to 5.
Well, apparently anybody who's met him is now an accomplice.
Oh, well, great. Well, I saw IRS as well, so could he get me off?
Yeah, he just can't defend you in prison.
Well, I saw Mark Sterling as well. I'm sure Smart Mark could do something for me.
I'm sure there's a number of people that could get you off, James.
And none of them are going to the main roster. Unless there's something you want to talk about, I think it's time we get out of here. Now, Scooter?
I absolutely squirrel.
Alright.
Yes, I think so.
Alright, of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, put on YouTube and Castbox. Follow, join us this Tuesday as we interview Candy Girl. Join us this Wednesday as we interview No Legend Advance War. And making a return in quite some time, we'll bring back Throwback Thursdays. Some of the most memorable clips of our interviews, starting this Thursday, and I'll give you a little sneak preview. It's going to be the Mickey Knuckles strip club story. If you remember that,
We're in syndication.
during that interview, and then we got some great clips coming in the coming month as well. So check those out on Thursday on YouTube as well. Um, Follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on Twitter and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. You can follow me personally at JamesJ993 and work made by Scooter.
As always, find me on Twitter at Scooter Dust. That's the best place to find out any upcoming news regarding the remix, which is currently on hiatus. And of course, revel in all my Twitch antics along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan, twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
For Kaliko Yaps and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.